first 82-cylinder, 5,000 horsepower, $1.5 million drag race. And which car came out on top?
There you have it. The Lamborghini with the 691 horsepower V12 and all-wheel drive traction ekes out a win over the 592 horsepower twin-turbo rear-wheel drive McLaren 12C. Godzilla, meanwhile, slips to third place. And the Subaru BRZ was just happy to be invited to the dance. Let's take a closer look at the finish.
Once again, the GTR's incredible traction and mountain of mid-range torque get it off the line before its bigger horsepower rivals. Short gearing keeps it ahead through the quarter mile too. As the finish line approaches, the more powerful SLS Black Series and SRT Viper are closing fast. They have the mile-per-hour advantage at the top end, but it's not enough to close down the Nissan. Let's take a closer look at the finish.
Alright, this is it, guys. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, go.
It's a narrow loss for the Nissan, bested by the Porsche's slight power-to-weight advantage. But it's still a close race between those two. The next contender, the Jaguar F-Type Coupe R, doesn't reach the quarter mile for nearly another second. But let's take a closer look at the finish.
over. But let's back up and take a look at how everything went down. At 60 miles an hour, things are pretty interesting. The Corvette and the Bentley are actually tied. That's right, it takes both of them 3.3 seconds to hit 60 miles an hour. The AMG GTS is right on their heels at 3.5 seconds. At the end of the quarter mile, things are still close. In fact, the Bentley and the Mercedes are tied, both taking 11.6 seconds to run the quarter mile. While it was close, the winner of this world's greatest drag race is the red, white, and blue Corvette Z06.
There's nothing really for me to do. I'll just sit in my air-conditioned seat, put it in drive, and fight wheel spin the entire way down the runway because this is a big, stupid sedan with 707 horsepower.
He stands no chance in that Hellcat against this, the NSX. And have I mentioned how easy it is to launch this Acura? Super easy.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I kicked the stuffing out of Jason and the Hellcat.
707 horsepower, and I finished at the back of the pack.
Vietnamese coffee, who knew?
It's all over pretty quickly when you have cars this fast. The NSX's electric motors gave it a jump off the line, but the Audi blows right by it on its way to a 2.6 second 0 to 60. And the Audi stays in the lead the whole way, crossing the quarter-mile marker after just 10.6 seconds. If we kept going, the R8 would get passed by the McLaren, which is less than a car length behind, but traveling almost 2 miles an hour quicker. 101 feet and 6/10 behind the Audi is Godzilla itself, the Nissan GT-R, which crosses the line just 16 feet before Johnny and his NSX. That's right, Johnny, hope you're enjoying 4th place. Next up, the Mercedes AMG GTS, followed closely by the Jaguar F-Type SVR. Oh, but if you think the Viper's up next, you're wrong. It's that insanely overachieving Porsche 911, pulling an 11.5 at 120 miles an hour. The Viper is 12 feet behind the Porsche. And then 0.4 of a second later, here I come in the big heavy Hellcat, which didn't win, but it did spin its tires long enough to beat the M4 GTS by 2 car lengths. The Mustang Shelby GT350R was right behind the Bimmer, and then in dead last place is the Chevy Camaro SS 1LE. That's right, the slowest car in this group runs a 12.4 at 114.2 miles an hour, or in other words, 0 to jail in 10 seconds or less.
But first, let's meet this year's contenders. Here's the first great Lexus coupe in a very long time, the new V8-powered LC500. This is the 4-door, 4-cheese Alfa Romeo Giulia with a heart from Ferrari. Aston Martin reinvents itself for a second century with the lovely DB11. AMG's Beast from Green Hell is also known as GTR. McLaren returns with a luxurious glass-roofed Grand Touring car, the 570 GT. Marinello is in the house with the manic, obviously red, Ferrari 488 GTB. The Tesla Model S P100D with Ludicrous Plus is the quickest car we've ever tested to 60 miles an hour. Let's see how it does in the quarter mile. The Porsche 911 Turbo S launches so hard, the front wheels nearly come off the ground. Godzilla has long been considered king of the quarter. Let's see how this year's Nismo GTR performs. The Camaro ZL1 1LE is one of the most powerful cars in the race, but can it put the power down? The Porsche 718 Cayman S only has 350 horsepower, though the quick-shifting PDK should help. Somehow, someway, with only 460 horsepower, the Corvette Grand Sport feels underpowered. However, it is light. Let's see how it does.
Begin launch sequence. T-minus 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Just like that, America is on top. A California-built P100D, the heaviest car in the race, wins it all, once again demonstrating the inherent advantage of electric motors when it comes to acceleration. That said, the Porsche Turbo S and the Ferrari 488 were charging hard. Had the race gone longer than a quarter mile, they both would have beaten the Tesla.
So this is what we're doing. We line up all these supercars. Like there's Lieberman. Say hi, Lieberman. There's Jethro Tull. He's driving a McLaren.
Okay, so my first ever world's greatest drag race. 12 cars. They put me in what I think is the best one, the McLaren.
So what I do is I put this thing in race mode. I put it in drive. And then I wait for the director guy to count down.
Begin launch sequence.
Go.
T-minus 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
World's greatest drag race. And I won it.
It pains me to say that Jethro won, so I won't. The McLaren 720S did all the winning.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Gets the jump on me.
fast. That McLaren is a rocket ship.
Oh my God.
Where's this drag coming from?
So that's me in the center, crossing the line in 10.1 seconds at 147.5 miles an hour and killing the rest of the field. But the following 8 cars are in the 11s. These are monster cars and they launch like crazy, but some of them are only just getting into their stride. So forget the quarter mile. We want to see how this plays out over the half.
All right, we're going the full half mile.
Keep going, half mile.
Look at that Aston. That thing's a missile.
Wow.
Okay, drivers, I'm gonna count you down from 5. You're gonna go on go. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go!
Come on, let's go. Dang it. Oh, lose it. Dang it! Woohoo!
Walking away!
Fastest people hauler on the planet. Dang it! What in the hell?
So much for American horsepower. I think the German engineering won that one.
Never couldn't even hear it though.
That's true. That's true.
I think Porsche got a launch.
Oh yeah.
And then it sort of stayed there.
The real question is like, you know, if a Porsche launches in the desert and you can't hear it, does it win? All right, well, that was a very clear victory for the Porsche. Up next, we've got Chevy versus Ford.
Hey Randy, how much does that truck weigh? I don't know about you, you European wannabe. We're all American on this side. I'll give you all American. Oh, you want to flex on me?
Our second race brings us a classic, Ford versus Chevy, but it's not a Camaro versus the Mustang. It's a mid-engine Corvette versus the 760 horsepower GT500. Corvette, it's down on power, only makes 495 horsepower, but it's also down on weight. That Mustang is over 2 tons. Who's gonna win? Let's find out.
You got nothing but ambient air pressure. I'm about to teach you a lesson called a weight transfer. I'm gonna rely on those 335 Michelin Sport Cup 2s. You're on some plain old 50,000 mile economy tire. Cause I don't need no cheater tires, man. My engine is sitting on the rear wheels. This thing is gonna take off like you ain't
I'm gonna go stop them, hang on. Okay, sorry to interrupt, boys. I'm assuming you're ready, so I'm gonna count you down from 5. You're gonna go on go. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Yep, I got it. Uh-oh, we're coming. He's reeling me. We're coming. Yeah, that's right. Get you some of that, boy. Poor doggies. That thing is good off the line, Scott.
All right, well, it looks like the Corvette eked out a victory. Mark, what happened?
Corvette gets the whole shot. Mid-engine displaces the power to the rear wheels faster. It gets going a whole lot better. And besides, we're talking an incredibly light machine. It just flew down there. So yeah, the Mustang may be the bully, but the Corvette took the Mustang's lunch money.
It's all about horsepower per pound, not horsepower per ton. Up next, we've got an Acura versus a Ferrari. The only reason the NSX exists was to beat Ferrari. In fact, the original NSX was so successful, it put all supercars back on the trailer and sent the engineers back to the drawing board. Today, we've got the new NSX against the F8 Tributo. Now the Tributo makes a lot of horsepower, over 700, but it's only rear-wheel drive. That Acura has an engine plus 3 electric motors. It's all-wheel drive. It says super handling on it. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's find out. I'm gonna count you down from 5 and you're gonna go on go. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Can you see that pirate rainbow? Oh man, oh my Lord!
Wow, Formula One technology for real.
Well, Scott, what happened?
I mean, look, you got a lot of technology in both these cars, right? Ferrari's got horsepower, but it's also got all kinds of clever computers going on in the turbos. It just hooks and goes. And even though the Acura can take off real hard, 700 horsepower, it's just gonna run you down.
That Ferrari whooped the snot out of the Acura. Up next, we've got a Porsche versus a Lamborghini. This next race is a bit of a family affair. You see, the Volkswagen Group owns Porsche and they own Lamborghini, and the similarities don't stop there. Both of these cars are all-wheel drive, they both have dual clutch transmissions, and they almost make the same horsepower. 641 horsepower for the Porsche Turbo S and 631 horsepower for the Lamborghini Huracan Evo. That said, the Porsche makes a boatload more torque. However, that Lamborghini is quick. Who's gonna win? Let's find out. All right, Randy, all right, Walton. You're gonna go on go. I'm gonna count you down from 5. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on, baby. I thought this Lamborghini was fast.
That was like 10 car lengths.
I guess you just left me and it was all over but the crying. Holy mackerel.
Porsche's been doing this double clutch thing for more years than anybody, so they've got their launches down.
I think we left spot on, but you were just gone.
Well, that was a very loud race, but the Porsche is the clear winner. Scott, what happened?
Some daggum turbochargers took the mustard right off that hot dog, I tell you what.
Exactly. So it was the turbo torque that won the race. That's the end of Heat 1. We got 2 more Eliminator races coming up before we get to the grand finale. One of the bigger stories of 2020 is that the Chevy Corvette has gone mid-engine. And now it's just like a Ferrari. So much so that if aliens came down from space, they would question, like, why does the blue car cost $400,000 while the yellow one is under 100? I'm thinking this drag race is gonna show the aliens what's up. All right, boys, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna count you down from 5. You're gonna go on go. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Bye-bye! I just get on the gas here. What's the matter, Corvette?
Well, that ain't fair, y'all. That's just cruel and unnecessary.
Well, Mr. Walton, what happened?
What happened was horsepower. 495 versus 711, you know?
Right,
It's just, it was impressive to watch the Corvette leave. They left at the same time, so they both have really good launch control, but then it was just all over.
Right about the 8th mile, the Ferrari started walking away from it.
From here, it looked like about 20 car lengths. That was a race for about 4 yards, and then the rest was done.
Yeah. Well, my friends from another planet, that is why the Ferrari costs so much. Up next, we've got Porsche versus Porsche. Here we are, our final elimination race. We've got the Porsche 911 Turbo S against an orange SUV. Remember, back in 1985, Villanova beat Georgetown. So anything is possible in these crazy bracket situations. So yeah, I'm saying that the orange Cayenne is Villanova, and I'm putting every penny I have on this green Georgetown right here. Boys, I'm gonna launch you. I'm gonna count you down from 5, you're gonna go on go. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Wow, that was freaking incredible.
And like a clock, does the same time, the same launch every single time, over and over and over again. It's unbelievable feat of engineering.
This thing's ballistic.
Well, Randy, care to illuminate us as to what just happened?
The Cayenne hasn't finished yet. Wait a minute. It's just the laws of physics. It's just a very powerful sports utility vehicle lined up against a very powerful sports car.
Yeah, so the extra like 1,400 pounds doesn't help the Cayenne any?
Yeah, we'll have to put a trailer behind the 911 Turbo.
All right, well, that was the elimination round. We know that the two quickest vehicles here are the Ferrari and the green Porsche. We're not gonna do a quarter mile. We're gonna take it out to the half mile to see which is the winner of World's Greatest Drag Race 10. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the final battle. We've got the Porsche versus the Ferrari, and it's something of a classic, a Le Mans classic, a GT classic, a supercar classic. You know, I've been standing out here in the sun all day wearing this Cactus suit. Skevins, give me my helmet. Walton, out of that Porsche. I'm driving. Come on, out, out, out.
All right, boys, this is gonna be a close one. I'm gonna count you down from 5, you go on go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
You got the launch! Woo! Yeah, you got the launch! Come on, Ferrari! 710 horse! Pull, baby! Pull, baby!
Oh! I had him!
Oh, yeah! You can't deny Enzo horsepower, Johnny!
Oh! I had you! Why did I agree to a half mile? I had you in the corner, man!
Quite a finish.
Looks like the Ferrari reeled him in.
Porsche got a really good jump there. Really nice off plunge.
Yeah, Johnny got a beautiful jump, and then the Ferrari just reeled him in.
Porsche gets off the line
every single time.
That thing was moving, man. I mean, this Porsche's quick, but that Ferrari is fast. And that, friends, is the difference between quick and fast. So, the Ferrari beat the Porsche by 5 measly feet. 5 puny, miserable feet. And thus concludes World's Greatest Drag Race 10. Maybe next year they'll put me in a car that can win one of these. Who knows? Until then, I hope you have a great year. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you.